We begin here. The Soweto Taxi Association says it will meet with e-hailing drivers tomorrow to iron out their differences. The two groups clashed outside the Protea Glen Mall today. E-hailing drivers blocked the roads in an attempt to shut down the shopping centre. They are accusing the taxi drivers of torching an Uber vehicle, but law enforcement intervened. Heidi Giokos was in Protea Glen in Soweto earlier on, and she's back now with us in our studios. Heidi, good afternoon. Welcome to today. Thank you. Welcome back from Soweto. It was pretty tough there, pretty tense, but you managed to speak to the different groups, including the local Soweto Taxi Association. What did they say?
Yes, and I think it was important to get their perspective because they are being accused of inciting violence, not only at Protea Glen Mall late last night, but also at Protea Mall. We do know that, according to the Soweto E-Hailing Association, they believe that it is actually the Soweto taxi service that is torching either Bolt or Uber vehicles and basically harassing and physically attacking Bolt and Uber drivers. Now, what the Soweto taxi service has indicated is that they know nothing about this. They have denied the allegation. They have said they don't intervene, they don't interfere, and they have indicated their confusion, if I can use that word, around why Protea Glen Mall was shut down today, basically because at around 12 o'clock this afternoon we saw a number of Uber and Bolt drivers deciding to block the main entrance to Protea Glen Mall, as well as the major intersection, basically driving into Soweto and going into Naledi. That whole intersection was blocked, and of course there was major traffic. Customers didn't know what to do, community members didn't know what to do. So let's listen to what the Soweto taxi service had to say in terms of them basically washing their hands and saying, we know absolutely nothing about this, and it was imperative for them to wait for the meeting to start tomorrow in order for them to iron out some issues.
Yeah, I got cool. Not that much. Kodwa nje khona kukancane kodwa nje khona kusasa sizoba meeting no eNCA namakhansela nabaphathi station no commander kodwa nje khona into yabo asibadinge eduze kwethu ngesikwazi ukusebenza nama Uber nama Bolt asikwazi.
It's going to be a very interesting conversation because hopefully the two sides don't dig in their heels, because you don't want violence, because the commuters are the ones who get affected, the people who use Uber and Bolt and the normal taxis. But the E-Hailing Association, very upset, and you spoke to the chairperson.
Yes, very upset, and actually the chair of the E-Hailing Association, his life was at risk basically today, Bradan. The Gauteng traffic police had to basically pull him away because he decided to go and engage with the Soweto taxi service, and he was grouped in, and then they had a scuffle with him and he managed to get away. We actually got some of that footage on camera. He's basically saying he knows his life is at risk, but he says he speaks for the people, he speaks for the Uber and Bolt drivers, and he says they continue to suffer, they continue to be attacked, and he is very strong in terms of saying that he has evidence to prove that it is in fact the taxi drivers that are attacking the Uber and Bolt drivers operating in and around Soweto. I think what's going to be important here is for the meeting tomorrow to clarify this, because last week Friday, after 3 Uber and Bolts were torched at Protea Mall, the MMC for Roads and Transport in the city of Johannesburg, Kenny Kunene, indicated that the situation is under control and they have brought it to a calm and they don't expect any
disruptions. Clearly today shows it's not.
Exactly. So let's just listen to what Tato from the Soweto E-Hailing Association had to say about what transpired today.
It gave us an impression that they want to talk. So when I arrived there by the corner, I could see that I don't see anyone anymore. So when I turned, they gave me a circle. On that circle, they started attacking and beating me up, and someone there breached a gun. I didn't see who it is exactly. Then I had to run into public because they are hiding themselves so that the cameras don't see what they're doing. And this is all the leadership of STS. They're saying, who do I think I am?
And the but who told you to go there? Why did you go there?
They said they were media thing. They said I must go down. I took my leadership. We do what, 4 of us. But the person they're looking for is my head.
Okay, how are you going to resolve this? This has gone out of control and it's very volatile.
I guess it will be resolved when the STS sees my head on the ground and my coffin goes 6 feet underground.
But they don't do anything.
Because I don't know if anybody will do anything about this. We all know what the taxi people are all about. I'm not scared of them. Not that I can do anything to them. They can bring whatever death they think they can bring. My death is only controlled by only God, not them. But I'm not going to fear and be intimidated by them because of they speaking the language they speak or they think they own this world. They don't. We need to coexist. They have children who are same age as me. Those children, what are they doing? If they're driving overboard, will they do the same thing about it? They think they're untouchable. They think they don't live, they're living here as aliens. They are alone.
Okay, that's the leader there of the Soweto E-Hailing Association, speaking earlier to Heidi Giokos outside the Protea Glen Mall, where there was a scuffle a little bit between them and the taxi drivers in Soweto. Now, the Soweto Taxi Service says they are not behind any of the violence that's been seen in the last few days in Soweto against e-hailing vehicles and drivers. There's a meeting tomorrow at the Kliptown Police Station for them to iron out their differences.